News 25 is brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
The governor announces Phase 2 reopening plans, and several structures and vehicles are destroyed by flames. News 25 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Many businesses get ready to reopen with guidelines. It's Wednesday, May 27th. I'm Michael Donohue. Deanna O'Donnell is off tonight. Governor Steve Sisolak held a press call last night, stating that out of an abundance of caution, he canceled his planned in-person press conference after an individual tested positive for COVID-19 days after he visited a facility in person. The roadmap to recovery reopening plan for this Friday, May 29th, with a detailed directive and more industry-specific guidance, is available on the Nevada Health Response website. The Gaming Control Board says they are planning a reopening of casinos with 50% capacity on June 4th. Sisolak says during Phase 2 that he cannot emphasize enough the importance of continuing to wear face coverings in public and maintaining at least 6 feet of social distancing when you're in public. In Phase 2, the governor says we can increase public and private gatherings to no more than 50 people while continuing to follow social distancing. Nevada's vulnerable population should continue to shelter in place. Businesses that remain closed in Phase 2 include adult entertainment establishments, brothels, nightclubs, and day clubs. Live sporting event venues and live performance venues with spectators, gyms, and fitness facilities may reopen with 50% capacity. All the same restrictions on restaurants and food establishments are continued in Phase 2, but bar areas and restaurants may reopen, and bars and taverns that do not serve food may also reopen. Businesses that provide aesthetic or other skin services may reopen. Body art and piercing facilities, as well as pools, museums, art galleries, zoos, aquariums, movie theaters, bowling alleys, and indoor malls. In Phase 2, events with live performance and live performers will not be allowed with spectators. The governor also asked that churches and religious gatherings continue to hold their services virtually. And now a massive explosion rocked an area on Pahrum's north side last night, and the ensuing fireball engulfed a large portion of a property on Shady Lane. There is no report of injuries, but it was a dramatic scene. Pahrump Valley Fire Chief Scott Lewis tells us what happened.
Around 9:30, we were dispatched for a report of a structure fire. The initial report was that there were multiple explosions. There was an unknown status of the occupants. So I radioed a report to the incoming apparatus to use extreme caution and also to prepare for a potential rescue assignment. As we arrived on location, we had a well-advanced fire that involved 5 structures, at least 5 vehicles, and overabundance of personal property. We did observe numerous explosions that were occurring from propane and other vessels stored about the property. So we took a very cautious but a very aggressive approach with master stream operation, which means large water in a short period of time. Our focus was on making sure that the exposure structures on both sides of the involved property were protected. There were numerous mature trees that were putting off ember, so an ember patrol was established. Crews were able to quickly knock down the main body of fire and then allowed us to advance additional hand lines and put out the small pockets of individual structures and vehicles. One of the challenges we had is a fire occurred in a no hydrant area. All of our tenders were deployed. They created a water supply system. There was never a time that we were without water. But again, we had to exercise extreme caution given the conditions on our arrival. The person that we believe might have been on the property at the time was later observed by a neighbor, possibly fleeing the area. We spent all 12 hours on that scene going through every square foot of the property, making sure there was no one on that property. There was a combination of many different types of vessels and containers. The one notable was approximately 100-pound propane tank that had levied, and that was close proximity to the primary dwelling. That is the one I think that everyone is commenting on through social media and who have been interviewed. It was a substantial impact from that levy, which is a boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion, and it was quite remarkable. We're considering it undetermined at this point, but we're not labeling it whether it's suspicious or accidental.
And not far away, another fire late Tuesday afternoon destroyed a travel trailer at the back of a home on West Irene Street.
Yesterday afternoon, we were dispatched for a report of a structure fire on West Irene. As crews arrived, we found a travel trailer that was used for storage purposes at the rear of the property. The fire was well advanced. There were some immediate exposures of an overabundance of personal property and other structures located in close proximity. The crews came in, quickly extinguished those fires. There was no further extension. There were no injuries.
It rekindled today?
There was a small fire in the back of the trailer. Some of the insulation had reignited on the top of the ceiling. The fire was quickly extinguished with no incident.
And stay with us. We'll be back right after this break.
News 25 is brought to you by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every bloomin' thing.
Cboe Global Markets will reopen its trading floor June 8th. Hertz Car Rental files for bankruptcy protection, and April was a good month for the sale of new homes. Angela Miles has the details.
Topping our news, the New York Stock Exchange is back in action. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo rang the opening bell on Tuesday. Only 25% of brokers are allowed on the trading floor to maintain social distancing standards. Masks are a must. Taking public transportation to the floor is a no. Stacey Cunningham, president of the NYSE, tells CNBC stocks trade better when the floor is open. The New York Stock Exchange had been closed for about 2 months. Modified trading at Cboe Global Markets will reopen June 8th. The trading floor is being reconfigured to meet distancing rules. Hertz Car Rental has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy and could soon start selling vehicles. Hertz has furloughed or laid off 20,000 employees. Brand new homes are selling better than economists expected. Sales of new homes rose 1% in April. The prediction was sales would tumble 22%. The median price of a new home, $309,000.
Well, the Nye County Clerk's Office has reopened to the public. That means you can visit the clerk's office to cast a ballot in person for the June 9th primary.
Nevada's June 9th primary is a mail-in ballot only election. That means in Nye County, voting machines will not be available. So while you can visit the clerk's office to cast a ballot, you'll still be required to submit a paper ballot. In-person voting will be available for same-day registrants and for voters who wish to vote their mail ballot in person. Voters may deliver their mail-in ballots or pick up replacement ballots. A valid ID is required for new registrations or registration updates. The clerk's office says the mail ballots voters received in the mail are their official ballots. They're welcome to turn them in to either the clerk's office during early voting hours, or they can show up to the courthouse with their ballot and vote it while sitting at a table or bench out in the hall if they choose. The clerk's office will have 2 spaces set up with privacy screens for same-day registration voters and 1 for voters who are visually impaired. In-person early voting is available at the clerk's office in Pahrump and Tonopah. Hours are 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. through this Friday, 10 to 2 Saturday, and 8 to 6 Monday through Friday next week. For more information, you can visit the Nye County Clerk's office online at nyecounty.net.
Fireworks are a popular way to celebrate holidays like 4th of July, but those fireworks can also be dangerous when used improperly. There is only one approved location from which to launch your fireworks in Pahrump, and as Fire Chief Scott Lewis reminds us, it's not at our home.
Fireworks and also unauthorized burning are both prohibited throughout the community. If fireworks are purchased, they obtain a permit. The permit can be used at the shooter site, which is located off of Gamebird Road. There they can safely use fireworks. There are set times and dates for those, which are all provided by the fireworks stores at the time of purchase.
Can you have ground fireworks at your own home?
No, you shouldn't have any ground because that obviously is causing our problems. There are some that are deemed safe and sane. However, our recommendation is that you conduct all the fireworks at the shooter site where we know it to be safe and there's people policing it, and therefore we can minimize and eliminate unnecessary fires and injuries. The issue is that our temperatures are high. We're going into triple digits now over the next several days. The fuels are dried out. We have plenty of fuels to burn, so we're placing that as a high risk throughout the community. We don't want any unnecessary fires.
2 new positive COVID-19 cases to report in Pahrump reported on Monday, Memorial Day. The county now lists 39 of the 62 positive cases as recovered. There will be drive-up COVID-19 testing Saturday, May 30th in Pahrump from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. and by-appointment testing available in Tonopah. And now stay with us. We'll be back with more news right after this.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Everyone is feeling the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. From kids to adults, we're all dealing with the new situation and a good deal of uncertainty. Erica Foreman has more on how creating new routines can help us manage the stress of it all.
Anxiety over the COVID-19 pandemic is high for many of us. According to Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Scott B., the stress is likely fueled by uncertainty.
We're really being tested in terms of controllability. A lot of it is taken out of our hands, so I think you try to focus on the couple things that are within your control, really taking all the advisements seriously. That's one way to exert some governance.
Another way to inject positivity into your day is to make a plan. A schedule of activities is especially helpful for those who are home alone and feeling isolated.
Schedule your day in hour blocks of time or even shorter blocks of time so that there's a rhythm and a pace to your day. It's actually a known biological treatment for depression. We call it activity scheduling. Many workplaces operate on schedules. If we can start to induce that into our daily lives a little bit, that makes our days go faster, are more meaningful. We feel more effective in our days.
Dr. B reminds us that we're being forced to create new habits, and that takes time.
They say it takes about 66 days to form a new habit. We are forming habits right now, and it's great if we can guide some of those habits rather than just having them happen to us. If we can show a little control in that area, that would make a big difference for us too.
At Cleveland Clinic, I'm Erica Foreman.
Dr. B says in a time like this, it's reasonable to expect your emotions to fluctuate. He reminds us that mental health professionals are available even virtually or over the phone to help if you're struggling with depression or any thoughts of self-harm. Well, it's Wednesday, so it's time to meet another great pet up for adoption from Desert Haven Animal Society. Today, Darby O'Donnell introduces us to Leo.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Leo. He's the one meowing in the background if you don't know that. So Leo is an all-black 3-year-old male kitty. He is super amazing. He has gorgeous, big, round, gold eyes. Super pretty. So Leo loves to play. He obviously is very interested in playing. When you do try to go and pet him, he will go and grab hold of your hand and like nibble on it. Not once did the entire time we were playing with him did he ever actually try to harm us or even use his claws when he was batting at our hand with his paws. He is just looking for a home where he can go and play like a whole bunch and wrestle with somebody. Cat toys would probably be his best friend. So if you want to go and see Leo or any of his friends here in the cat room, come on down to Desert Haven Animal Society. You could still see them. You're just asking for people to please make an appointment ahead of time. Give them a call, 775-751-7020, or you can always look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
And now it's time to take a peek outside of that Lerner and Rowe weather cam. We got a couple clouds just kind of chilling out up in the sky. We're going to learn more about our weather on the other side of this break.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
And welcome back. Now taking a look at our weather. Las Vegas with a high of 107 degrees, a low of 79. 117, a low of 86 in Death Valley, 105, a low of 72 in Amargosa, 100, a low of 69 in Beatty, 91.59 in Goldfield, 90.58 in Tonopah, 89.54 in Carson City, 95.56 in Fallon, and 94, a low of 58 in Fernley. Now today in Pahrump, we saw sunny skies. Our high today was 104 degrees. Winds out of the southwest up to 9 miles per hour, 9% humidity, and 5:29 this morning for our sunrise. Now tonight we're going to see some clear skies. Your low is going to be 74 degrees. It is 103 outside currently with 7-mile-per-hour winds out of the east-southeast, 18% humidity, and 7:53 tonight for our sunset. Now looking ahead for the 7-day, Thursday and Friday, we're expecting sunny skies. We're going to see some clouds rolling in for the weekend. Those are expected to hang out through next Wednesday. Now we're also going to see a lot of high winds up to 13 miles per hour on Thursday, 23 miles per hour on Friday, down to 18 and 15 miles per hour on Saturday through Monday, and then winds up to 12 and 13 miles per hour by next Tuesday and Wednesday. Temperature-wise, we're starting to dip just a little bit on Thursday and Friday. We're going to be seeing highs of 105 and 104 degrees. And then from Saturday to Sunday, we're going to be dropping down into about those low 90s. We're expected to be in those low 90s through next Wednesday. Our overnight seeing a similar pattern from Thursday and Friday. We're going to be seeing lows of 77 and 72 degrees. Then pretty much from Saturday all through next Wednesday, we're expecting those lows to be about 66 to 68 degrees. And now that's going to wrap it up for this edition of News 25. I'm Michael Donohue, and we'll see you again here tomorrow.